Oops. Looks like we had an issue. We're back up. Let's give everybody a little bit of time to get back in.
Hmm. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I had a little bit of technical difficulties.
Da-da-da.
As
So
always.
the last basically stream quote was all about Raw.
Raw.
So
Raw.
now we're just gonna go into SmackDown now.
Yeah, right on into it. So it started
Alright.
with The Miz uh, doing Miz TV. Now did a long lead up into announcing his guest, who just so happened to be his wife.
Mhm.
This was
Of course.
all just a reason to write Maurice off of the show.
Yeah, which
That's all this was.
yeah, yeah. It was kind of honestly the reason is whatever, but honestly the whole promo wasn't great. I don't think it was the best promo or the greatest promo the Miz ever done for whatever, but did it really need a promo to write her off like a whole fucking charade, a whole fucking thing? I
I
don't
don't
think it
think
needed
so.
it.
No.
I mean,
She deserves a world. What do you mean?
yeah, she deserves, right? She's done so much
Yeah.
in WWE.
She gave birth 5 months ago
Yeah, and
Yeah,
is already
and
back in the
competed
ring.
yeah,
in a
and
high
she does
tier
a lot
matchup.
for WWE. Yeah, she's done a lot. Her birth gave her a lot of reason to do
She gave
WWE.
her the WWE Women's Division. What do you mean?
Bruh, I understand, and she's gonna go take care of that future. She got
Exactly.
to cherish it. Got to polish it up real nice.
Wow. Okay. So we're just
Uh,
yeah, this was all just to write Maurice off the show and basically to keep the to bring the Miz and Daniel Bryan feud back to just them two, which I'm glad for at least.
Good. Thank God. That's
But
what
thank
we
God they've actually
wanted.
got rid of freaking
That's the
Brie
good
Bella in the
that comes from
situation. Thank
this.
God they got
So
rid of that.
Yeah.
What's the next pay-per-view? Like the next real pay-per-view?
I
Survivor
think
Wow.
Series.
NXT.
Is
No.
it
Isn't
Survivor
that
Series?
takeover?
Yeah, Survivor
I think
Series is
NXT
November.
Takeover though is first.
Not besides Takeover.
Um.
There's something in October. What's
Uh,
in October?
that's the
Oh, that's
showdown.
WWE
it,
Super Showdown.
yeah, Super Showdown.
Oh,
That's
they're
not
calling
the.
that the pay-per-view.
No, I'm asking what is the next pay-per-view? Not Showdown,
Next.
not Evolution, not NXT.
Not Evolution, not Crown
Like
Jewel,
main card pay-per-view.
not Takeover. Yeah, Survivor Series.
Survivor Series is
So
in
Survivor
we
Series.
got
November. Yeah.
we got four pay-per-views. That's not like our original pay-per-views. Is what
We're
you're saying.
missing an original pay-per-view for October. So Super Showdown is gonna be like the big one, the
So there's
main one.
no, there's not
Yeah,
even one
Super
in October.
Showdown
What?
is
Showdown
the
doesn't
main one
exist.
for
But Super
October.
Showdown is gonna be at a weird time. What I'm saying, what's gonna be at the standard time that American pay-per-view?
Evolution.
No,
Yeah,
really?
Evolution's the only other pay-per-view in October.
Hang
And
on.
then in November there's three pay-per-views, which is the first one, Crown Jewel, and then it's NXT War Games 2, and then Survivor Series. And after that, in December, we got TLC.
Yeah, he
Seem
just
a
said.
little bit disappointed.
He just said it pretty much.
Well, I mean, ticket sales are going to be pretty low for Evolution since no men are allowed.
How you think they're gonna feel about the fucking Greatest Royal Rumble?
They are not going
yeah.
to that shit.
How you feel about the Greatest Royal Rumble? There were no women allowed.
You know how many couples are going to break up over Evolution? Like all the
Oh my
all the
god.
couples where the
Oh,
men have
God.
been trying like their whole relationship to get their girlfriend to go to a live event with them.
The other
And they're like,
pay-per-view
no, that
that
seems stupid. And now it's gonna be like Cable's turn. Like the guy's not gonna want to go with the girl.
yeah. The other pay-per-view that we're missing, I think, is No Mercy, right? there's no Mercy anymore.
They replaced No Mercy with Evolution.
They
Yep,
replaced No
they did.
Mercy with Evolution.
Because it's 2018, you gotta have Mercy now. Everybody gets Mercy.
All right.
But yeah, we get War Games right before Survivor Series. That'll be interesting. But
That's
yeah,
gonna be a good weekend.
yes, definitely. And then try to remember to take that off.
All right. So yeah, let's get into the match of SmackDown.
Yeah, the
since
first
we were
one,
talking
Kofi.
about that.
Kofi versus Cesaro. Not as good of a match as I would want from either of these two. I would expect a
I
great
totally
match from
agree.
either one of these two. And it was just kind of, It didn't really help to sell me on the match that's coming up, but I know for a fact that anytime the Bar and New Day go at it in a tag team match, it usually steals the show. So I've just got to
Yeah.
have faith that that's what's going to happen. And we did get a return, I think, of Street's favorite New Day character, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
He make
Kramer.
us Kramer Kingston,
Yep.
Kingsman. So
Yeah.
God, that's like the best thing of the New Day ever. So if it was something that the New Day did right, was that Kramer thing. Because everything else is fucking stupid.
this
Yo,
guy.
even that Australian accent that Big E tried was terrible.
Yeah.
But the
It was better
Iconics said it was
than,
okay.
Iconics.
They said it was
It's
okay.
better than Iconics accents.
Yeah, if Dave give the thumbs up, that's good.
Yeah, it's better than the Iconics fake ass Australian accents.
How do you know if they're fake Australians? I think
'Cause
they're
Australia's-
pretty much real Australians.
Because Australia's fake.
Okay, Machine.
Exactly.
Enough, please. Enough is freaking enough. Now
By
it's
the way,
just got
oh,
the point
my
that you're
god, I
literally
don't know
just
how
mocking.
I didn't remember to bring up this breaking news. I should have brought this up at the very beginning of the podcast. Apparently,
I swear.
Tommaso Ciampa will not be in 2K19 at all.
Oh,
Yep,
dang.
no,
okay, can I say
No
something?
Tommaso Ciampa. He's not in the game.
Okay.
We don't know why. We'll never.
The reason.
he's-
Okay, I'm gonna say this.
No, you can't. We're gonna move on. United States
Yeah,
Championship
let's
match.
just move on to
The next thing
the
was
most best thing that ever happened.
it's
the
United
show.
States Championship match. Rusev versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Hold
it was
up,
a,
pause.
go ahead,
Can we pause up a little bit?
Okay.
Before this match, we had a promo in the back with, Rusev and Aiden English and Lana,
Yep.
They were talking about what happened at the pay-per-view of them not winning because of basically Aiden English's fault. And Aiden English said he was sorry and blah, blah, blah. And then when Rusev said for Aiden English to not go out there that time, because I guess he said you didn't need him or something, or the best thing to do is for you not to go out there. But when they walked away, Rusev and Lana, Aiden English kind of had a point saying that Rusev Day is nothing but without him, and that he made the Rusev Day, and he just basically went on a rant to
I've
some
been saying
random
this
dude
since
over
day
there.
one.
Yeah. And Lana overheard that and was going to tell Rusev what Aiden English said. But yeah, now we can move on to the match.
Yeah. So
Rusev had this United States match with Shinsuke Nakamura.
yep, good match.
And Aiden-
All around. Go
Aiden
ahead.
English actually came out
Yeah.
too, because Rusev wanted Aiden English to do the thing. But he said the best thing for him to not to is to go out there. So that I was confused about that. Or maybe he said not to help him.
Yeah.
or
He
something
wanted
like
he
that.
wanted him to do the intro, and then he wanted him to go back to the back, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but that didn't happen. He went out there and started. He got up on the ring corner and started chanting Rusev Day or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah, no, he started saying,
Rusev Crush.
Crush!
Yeah, Rusev Crush, and Rusev's like, what the hell are you doing, blah, 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 and I thought that part was kind of corny, like,
Yeah.
Rusev,
It
if your
was-
wife got up there and was like, Rusev Crush, you would do it, you'd just be like, oh, yeah, I know,
Let me butt in before you talk about the end of it.
Go ahead.
I thought like this was blatantly Rusev's fault. Like
It is. It is.
he stood there and was like, "What?
But it's
Like, turn
always
around
the
and pin
person's
him.
fault.
Like,
It's always the wrestler's fault when something happens like that. If somebody comes up on ringside and starts yelling at you or starts, doing gestures,
yeah, he
it's
was acting like
basically
Aiden
your
was like
fault
his
no matter what.
enemy, and he was trying to distract him. Like
Yeah.
he's rooting you on. Turn around and finish the match. Or why are you arguing with him? Like,
Yeah, I
it was
understand
just
that.
silly.
I thought that was
Yeah,
I
I
thought it was
agree.
silly and a little bit dumb there. And I think the reason I thought that they would just keep pulling this on forever. So the actual him turning and attacking Rusev was not how I saw it coming. So that was surprising. I saw it being
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a breakup in the back,
Same.
like.
Yeah, me
We're
too.
done. We're
I didn't
done,
think Aiden
Aiden
would be the
English.
one to
You
turn.
go away. We're done with you. And then he walks away sad
Exactly.
or something like that. But it wasn't. Aiden English attacked him, and I was like, "Whoa, no way!" And then you could kind of see that the crowd popped the same way. I was like,
Yeah.
"What?" It's pretty
It
great. So
was surprising.
it was really good.
Well, Aiden
However,
never, or not Aiden, but Rusev never won a title during this whole Rusev Day thing.
I know,
What
which
if the whole
sucks.
thing was really just a
Here's
push for Aiden?
here's the
please
thing.
don't be.
Here's
Look,
the thing. I
that's my
think
thing. I
what
don't think Aiden can succeed in a singles career. I don't think he's
no,
got.
yeah, I agree with that. Ben
You
left.
don't?
Now we can speak
Ben will be
freely,
back.
guys.
He made the Rusev Day thing happen.
Here's the thing.
He had a really
think we
good
had
heel
a-
turn.
I think they had a lot of confliction going on with Rusev Day. Because if you actually look at it and paid attention and whatnot, everything that they've been doing with the Rusev Day was starting to go up and down, up and down, and up and down. It started great, but then something happened somewhere. I don't remember where, but it started
What
just going up
happened
and then
is
down,
nobody would
up
give
and
him.
down.
They would tease the push. They would give him a
Exactly,
shot,
that's
and
what I'm
then they
saying.
would
It
give
would
him
go
shot after
always up
shot,
and
and then
down.
he would fail every title shot or every opportunity
It's
to get a title
basically
shot.
almost the same thing that they did with Elias. It's like Elias had these great matches. Time to time, he was put in great matches. Time to time, and all of a sudden, it just fell off.
But the thing
It's
is,
like,
Elias can be a punching bag because he's a dick. He's
yeah, that's true.
he's a heel who can go and say shit about every city, and the city's gonna be boo. Even though on the
Yeah.
inside they're like, I agree, he's right. I should be cheering, but I can't because everybody else isn't either. So I mean, it's Elias can get away with that, not so much Rusev.
I guess Ben had mic issues, and he's gonna fix his mic.
Is that like his cousin? His cousin Mike?
No. No. But yeah.
What's up,
I
Sam?
don't think
How's
that
it going?
I don't think this is a push for not Shinsuke. I don't think this is a push for Aiden. I still think Aiden is leaving the company. So I think this is maybe a way for him to leave the company. Who knows? We might see him next week on SmackDown. If we don't, then we know why.
I'm trying to think what he could do that would seem reasonable.
Would benefit him for this.
But I don't see him doing anything other than being a jobber. Maybe a tag team with somebody, but...
Can we all just agree, though, on Aiden English's uniforms? His uniforms are custom. They're fucking dope. Especially the ones he wears in pay-per-views. It's like always like some kind of graffiti or something. Actually pretty cool.
I think he's got the
So?
same pant designer as R-Truth.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. Cheap.
I think they
So
share costume designers. I don't know.
What?
Yeah, he's here.
No. We were just talking about Aiden English's attire. And she brought up that
I know.
he may
No,
have
I
the
heard
same
everything you
designer
said.
as
I just
R-Truth.
thought I heard you say my name.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he shares pant designs with R-Truth. But yeah, that was I think a fairly surprising moment, and I think everyone was looking forward to it, but at the same time dreading it because, Now, it's kind of like a now what, you know? It's kind of a dread. I'm not really happy about the now what part of it.
Here's the thing. I think they were testing it for a little bit because there was this part with a little bit where Aiden English wasn't really there for a few matches because of what happened previously.
He kept screwing up, yeah.
Yeah, kept screwing up. So I guess they were kind of testing it and see if the crowd would still, you know, go with Rusev even if Aiden English wasn't there.
And let me, I want to address this one thing: these WWE storylines of these accidental fuck ups where it breaks up tag teams. Like anybody that's an actual human being would be able to go back and watch the footage afterwards and be like, "Oh, he didn't mean to do that. What the fuck am I mad for?" So I wish we could get away from that stupid stereotype of, oh, he dove into me, he screwed everything up and attacked me, I'm mad now, we're not a tag team anymore because he dove into me, you know? Like, what the fuck? You know, this stupid logic between some of these tag team breakups, and they've got to write these things better. Like, friends like really do go their separate ways for all kinds of logical reasons. They could write it like that, you know. I mean, the Big Cass and Enzo thing, it was actually, you know, better than most of the tag team breakups because it made better. There wasn't anything forced because people could actually kind of tell. If you've ever watched one of like the ride-alongs or anything where it was Enzo and Cass together, Cass the whole time is like gritting his teeth and just barely able to get through it. You can see it. Like, even when they were quote-unquote best friends, you could tell that Big Cass hated Enzo. Like,
I agree.
He's so annoyed by him. He just kind of like brushed him off all the time. On the ride-alongs especially. So
next, AJ Styles versus Almas. This is for a championship. This is a championship match, right? Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are pushing Almas. I mean, he is getting up and downs here with, you know, good matches and then bad matches and then good matches
you know
and bad
what my
matches.
theory
But he's
is,
all over the place.
You know what my
and
theory
that's good, though.
They're all good matches, but they're, you know, top tier people, you know, mid card.
Yeah.
That's what you were trying
By
to say.
By up and down, I mean he's either in a match with somebody that really don't
I think
matter,
that's what you were trying to say.
Yeah, that's what I meant. And he's either in a match with a 5-star wrestler or in a match with a 3-star wrestler. Or he's in something. But that's good. They're doing that for a reason. They're putting him in all these areas so then when he does supposedly become champion, the next face of supposedly SmackDown, we know that he can work in all these areas. And that's good for us to know. You know what I mean? We don't want somebody that can only work in one area or that's just only good in one particular skill set or whatever. You know what I mean? What'd you say?
I just think it's. I said I guess you're right, but it's just like, when do you have a random championship match in the middle of a rivalry? Like,
yeah, I know,
rivaling with
but
Small Joe, and then Andrade just gets a title shot. Like,
I understand that it's a little bit forced. It's not a little bit forced, but it's forced. But he did get a match with AJ Styles on his first basically match or second match in SmackDown. I mean, that was forced.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're just throwing him in these high quality matches without any reasoning.
Let's just say that WWE is throwing Almas the way that they would have thrown Roman Reigns. But the thing is, we're not getting a lot of we're not really getting a lot of crowd reaction because of how Almas is, like how his character is. You know what I mean? It's like, he's not looked at the same way as Roman. You know, Roman is big. He's a big guy. He's supposedly the big dog. But they're basically doing the same thing with Almas, other than, you know, really forcing the titles down our throats with him. But, you know, he's getting these top matches. He's been in matches with AJ Styles, like, what, 2 times already?
I know
he's
exactly
probably going to be in another
doing.
match with him.
I
and
know
Daniel
exactly
Bryan.
what they're doing with Rey Mysterio, with him. Is they're setting him up so he can go at it with Rey Mysterio when Rey Mysterio returns.
Oh, yeah, I can see that
He's
too,
gonna
definitely.
disrespect Rey Mysterio. It's kind of the same
Yeah, I
way he
can see
did
that
Sin Cara.
with
Uh,
the Sin Cara. Yep.
And
Mhm.
And then he's getting buried.
this had been a teased
And then bye
thing.
bye.
He's like, what? He's just to bury him.
Yep.
Rey Mysterio
They're
just to
bringing him
bury
up just to
Owens.
bring him back down.
That's possible too. That's possible too. But he kind of needs a little bit of a background before I guess he calls out Rey Mysterio.
I was speaking of Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio's son is now in Lance Storm's wrestling camp.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
that might be something coming on. Rey Mysterio's son might be a professional wrestler one day.
Mhm.
But as for
Yeah,
Almas, yeah, I think
definitely.
they're definitely building him up for that big thing with that. And they're also predicting he'll be in line for title opportunities within the next
Hmm.
year, probably. Maybe not the world title, but probably definitely
For
United States.
for the people that don't know, Rey Mysterio does have a 2-year contract with WWE now. It's
Yeah.
been announced. So we'll definitely see Rey Mysterio for 2 years. He may have a title run in it for at least a year, maybe or less.
I just don't want
I
people
don't.
to get their expectations up too much. Rey Mysterio is
Yeah,
still
exactly.
great, but he's also 40-something years old.
Yeah,
You know, if
I
you see,
understand.
I saw a picture of him the other day without his mask on, and he looks like the guy from Fear the Walking Dead, the dad, the old Daniel. He looks like
I don't
Daniel.
know who that is, but it's still so
Yeah,
funny.
he's like an old. He looks like an old guy. He looks like Cheech does right now. Have you seen
Oh
Cheech
god.
recently?
Yeah.
He looks like Cheech does. Not kidding. But
Is Ben joining in?
he's not really that bad.
Did Ben say he was gonna join in?
Maybe
He
I
said.
need to invite him again. Let me just, blue screen, guys. Apologize. Ben doesn't know how things work sometimes, so well, I don't think he realizes he could just join back in. But yeah, I didn't get a thing for that. A suggestion. Players have been suggested so far. Uh, we're almost done, Sam, but I don't see why not. If I can get this thing to load, I'll go ahead and invite you too. I think Soul's probably gonna leave here in the next 10-15 minutes anyway. He's gotta probably go to work tomorrow, right, guy? Yeah, just about. We're almost to the end and to NXT, but it's not letting me load my friends list or anything. So yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I can't get the thing to load up anyway. So sorry, Ben. Sorry, Sam. My thing's not working right now. We're about to finish this up anyway.
Mm.
So yeah, that was seeing almost, and that the next thing was Oscar versus Billy Kay, which was a squash match that did
Mm.
nothing for either one of them. I still right now could care less about Oscar, which is tragic, and I could care even more less about Billy Kay or the Iconics
The
until they're
Iconics.
actually doing something that is relevant and of
Oh, your
value.
lucky Ben's not in the chat.
I know.
Talking about the Iconics.
Don't be talking about his
You took
girls
a
like that.
you took a cheap shot because Ben's not here.
The Iconics. Um, so yeah, the next thing was the main event, which wasn't even a match, but it was definitely worthy of a grade of an A. Um, Becky Lynch and her coronation. She pretty much knocked Charlotte Flair off her high horse, so to speak, and
Uh-huh.
everything she did, as heelish as she tried to be, the crowd's like, "Yep, uh-huh," and just ate it up. They're like, "We agree. You should call her queen. Do it." Like, put the belt on her. You should. That's what you need to be doing right now, Charlotte. You know, they're not gonna turn on Becky Lynch no matter how hard WWE tries. Becky Lynch could go around just punching every female right in the cooter every day. Just goes sneaking up on everybody. She could just be the worst character in WWE, and everybody'd still be like, "Yep, let's go. I'll take it."
Hmm.
Right.
So, as much as I still don't really care for her being a heel, I'm with it because everybody else is. I'm like, well, WWE is trying their best to fuck it up, but it's just not gonna work, and it's even better now for that fact. So I'm perfectly happy with the Becky Lynch and Charlotte situation. I'm perfectly happy with that closing out the show. It was a fitting end to a pretty damn good SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Any
Very
thoughts?
well. Very well.
Anybody have thoughts on that part? The ending, Becky
No,
Charlotte.
I don't really have much to say about that match with Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Um, Only because I wouldn't say it wasn't bad or anything, but I mean, I liked it, I enjoyed it, but are they gonna just? It kind of seemed boring, honestly. To me, it kind of seems boring. They gotta spice it
Could have
up
been
more.
better.
It could have been better. It could have been better. I mean, it was good. It was good for the first couple of matches and whatnot, but that one was just could have been better. I mean, it's kind of a little bit of a letdown. I thought there would have been more to it,
But it wasn't a match. It
but
was a coronation. It was just a
yeah,
little.
not match, but I know I meant segment, not match. But it could have been better. You know, they could have went at it. They could have done this. I mean, they done it before. I mean, that's how it all started. But I felt like, Charlotte was gonna attack her. But I guess that's just how the babyface is, and that's how they're playing it, and they don't want her to attack her, I guess. Because, quote unquote, babyface. So,
Well, it's not
it's
gonna
whatever.
work. They're gonna boo Charlotte, and that part's not gonna work. They're gonna try anything they can to
Yeah.
make Becky a heel.
That's what I'm saying. Wouldn't it hurt to have her at least attack Becky Lynch that she turned around or went to get out or something? I mean, but they're still playing the babyface part and heel part. That's the thing.
Ben, I couldn't get the friends list thing to pop up. It's lagging or network's messing up on me or something. We're just gonna go
You
ahead and
can
finish. We're
join in,
almost
Ben.
done.
Just go through where the parties is.
Yeah, just go into parties and find. Well, I'm offline, but
We're going
find
to go into NXT anyways,
Street and
right?
just join. Yeah, we're on NXT now. So we kicked off NXT with Dakota Kai and Deonna Purrazzo versus Lacey Evans and Aaliyah, and this was just a women's tag team. They're doing the WWE thing now. They're just throwing women tag team matches out there to promote something. So they just threw that out there to promote the Mae Young
They're doing
Classic,
the WWE thing now.
and that was it was what it was. It wasn't necessarily a good match or a bad match. What's up, Core? So we had that happen, and Evans and Aaliyah defeated Purrazzo and Kai. Uh, the next thing was a squash match of that Sons of Anarchy guy. I mean, not Sons, Forgotten Sons, whatever. Jackson Riker versus squash match guy. It finished and made the Riker guy look pretty good. I think he's alright. He seems to be like a pretty decent ripoff of the leader of Sanity. That's all I can really say for
Hmm.
that. But the main reason for even getting into NXT and the reason that they were two kind of short, squashy type matches was that it was all building towards this great, epic Ricochet versus Pete Dunne match. This was the match of the week, hands down, probably the match of the month, if not one of the match of the year candidates.
Hmm.
They did about everything possible to do that you would expect them to do. Not quite as much high flying as you would expect from Ricochet, but quite a bit. And it seems like Pete Dunne had a counter for all his high-flying shit, and that was pretty unexpected. It
Yeah.
was back and forth, back and forth, just absolute nuts. And then, just like I predicted last week or a week before, Undisputed Era interrupted and caused the referee to ring the bell. When Undisputed Era interrupted and attacked, the War Raiders came out and attacked them and ran them off. And so they gave the belts back to Ricochet and Pete Dunne, and it was kind of like a little mutual show of respect. Not necessarily so much as, like, saying anything or doing anything. It's just kind of looking at each other and being like, realizing the battle. And like, even after, it's one of the only times I've ever seen like something that's so disappointing. Like, you wanted somebody to go home with 2 belts and you wanted a result to happen. Like, even after Undisputed Era had interrupted and the match was over and like nobody won, it was a disqualification. Um, the whole crowd was still like giving standing ovations and chanting and doing all that stuff, even after a disappointing result. So that was pretty awesome to see, and it's probably one of my favorite matches. I'll probably be talking about it or referencing it when I talk about great matches. I'll be like, well, it wasn't a Ricochet Pete Dunne match, but it was all right. And I'll probably be referencing that one for a while. It was really, really good. I highly recommend fast forwarding through NXT if you have to, just watch that 15-minute match, and you will not be disappointed. It was amazing. That covers all of NXT. Did anybody watch that match yet?
No, didn't get
No,
to.
I didn't figure.
Was it good?
So
Well,
no,
you said it was
no,
good.
no, it was terrible. So we can go into
Oh,
the
I thought you
rumor.
said it was good. Never
It
mind.
was. I'm being a smartass because that's like I was just talking about how
Oh.
amazing it was. You obviously weren't paying much attention.
I wasn't. All I saw was you said.
You're
All I
over there
saw was you
twiddling
said
your
I
thumbs
suggest
and
you
shit.
watch it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, NXT.
I
Nope.
said I was like match of the year. I said all kinds of things like that. You're like, so
Was it good?
there's I had something great and then lost it all now. Street threw me off.
Could have been
Uh,
better.
Matt Riddle
Sasha
had his
Banks.
debut and won in a live match.
Who?
Matt Riddle, the former
You
UFC
had
fighter,
something about Sasha before.
His debut
Impact,
where?
at not a non-televised match, a live event, NXT live event. They're
Oh.
predicting he's going to have his first match at or his first big match at the War Games. So he's expected to be featured prominently in War Games. So we'll probably see him on NXT at least by October.
Is he gonna be the female Ronda? He's just gonna come in and just snag a belt.
I don't know. I mean,
Real
he's
quick.
probably going to have a lot of hype behind him, but he wasn't like just a dominant UFC fighter. I don't think he like. I don't think he was. Was he a champion? I think he was a UFC
Who?
champion. I think he was
Who?
like Matt
I
Riddle.
have no idea. I never knew
Matt
who he
Riddle?
was until I seen him on
Yeah,
NXT.
but
Was he UFC champion?
he might have been. He might have been close to it or a contender at one point or something like that.
Oh.
But yeah.
I can find out if you want me to.
Well, no, it's no
There
big
we
deal.
go. Championship and no, he's gotten fight of the night. No UFC championships. He got submission of the night. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no UFC championship. He had something called Titan Fighting Championship event, but I guess he didn't win that. It was for middleweight, whatever that is. But no, I don't see anything for a title. Nope. But yeah, what else you got? Yeah, I know you had something about Sasha. You put in.
Yeah, she's injured. They replaced her in the mixed tag. They made her replacement, I think, Ember Moon or something like that. You know, I don't know if it's serious or not. They didn't really say anything
Who's her
about it.
partner? Bobby Lashley, right?
Yeah. No, then it's not Ember Moon. It's like it's somebody who you didn't think would be with. It's like one of the Iconics or something like. No, it's Mickey James. Mickey James is her replacement. Mickey James is
Mickey
teaming with
James
Bobby
and Bobby
Lashley.
Lashley?
Yes.
Ugh. Ew, nasty.
So I think this whole mixed tag thing is shaping up to be a mess because one of the premier teams that everybody thought had the most dynamics, which was Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman, they're not a team anymore, and it's now Ember Moon and Braun Strowman.
Why?
Because Alexa Bliss is injured.
What?
Yeah, she was apparently injured at Hell in a Cell, or they're trying to sell the Ronda Rousey's armbar.
Wow.
So that could be the case. I don't know.
That's the only reason anybody watched the mixed tag matches. We're Team Little Big.
Yeah, I would pretty much
Don't give a
agree.
shit about it otherwise.
Um,
Even, honestly, the Daniel and Brie versus Miz and Maurice was my least favorite match of the entire pay-per-view.
yeah, and it was like, yeah, it was pretty bad.
And it wasn't terrible, but it was my least favorite match of the whole night.
Yeah, I'm pretty much sick of the mixed tags, and I mean,
it was probably better than Roman versus Braun. But other than that, it was worse.
I agree. I understand.
Like, I mean strictly just the part that was just Roman and Braun. It was better than that, at least. Other than that, those were my least two favorite matches on the card.
Well, I got some news.
I forgot to say that in the beginning.
It's alright. I got some news about Rey Mysterio. Supposedly, he's supposed to have a match, or it's going around saying he's going to have a match at Crown Jewel, and that's where he's going to make his return. Is that Crown Jewel?
Probably.
And he's going to fight Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States title. Just like that.
So they're just going to give him the United States title,
basically.
Or when they were calling this a
what do you
dream,
think about
they're
that?
calling this a dream match.
Yeah, they're calling this a dream match.
I might have agreed at one point until I saw the complete and utter misuse of Shinsuke Nakamura. And it's not Shinsuke Nakamura's fault. I like Shinsuke Nakamura as a wrestler and as a character. Well, I did like. I don't like
just
this.
like well, to me, it's like more like a time era thing. Like, just like Shinsuke versus Jeff Hardy the first time they wrestled. That had dream match written all over it, but it would have been more of a dream match if it happened during Jeff Hardy's prime. You know what I mean? It's like you got a Shinsuke in his prime versus someone who's not in their prime any longer. So, exactly. I mean, like on paper it's a dream match, but you're not getting the best of the performance from one side. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get that. I also have something here. This is actually interesting. We were talking about, this is the interesting topic here, about Kurt Hawkins. I've seen something about that Kurt Hawkins revealed his losing streak on why, like what the whole story thing is with it. And apparently Kurt Hawkins said that that's what he wants. He wants a losing streak. Apparently he was supposed to win a match with Heath Slater at main event, and he did not want to win that match, and he went out for taking a loss.
Well, you know what?
And
he's smart though.
Yeah, and I definitely wouldn't have wanted to take his first win from the loss streak at main event. You know, you want some
Yeah.
publicity behind it. You're like,
No.
no, if you're
But
gonna do it,
he,
we're gonna do it.
they
We're gonna do
also
it right.
offered him. They also offered him obviously matches at other pay-per-views. He's been offered matches for a win
Yeah.
in other pay-per-views,
But
and he's not accepting it. He's saying that WWE writers don't understand don't understand that what it means to him to have a losing streak. He said it's something that he wants to keep going with. That I guess it means a lot to him, and it's a goal for him, and I kind of understand that because it's something new. It's not new, but it's something different. We never really have something like Kurt Hawkins has a losing streak.
But the
all
worst
the
thing
time,
is
you know?
that he's
Keeping
not the
keeping
worst
him
wrestler.
relevant. If he wins a match, then everyone just forgets about who he was because
Exactly.
it kills
Exactly.
his whole character.
Well, no, it
If
comes
he
with
wins,
that.
it kills
No,
his whole
it comes
character.
with a temporary momentum burst. It would
Yeah,
come with like a.
yeah.
It would come with
Like-
a momentum boost like the B team got. Does
Yeah,
anybody?
Exactly. It's gonna be
B
cool for a
team's
little
done.
bit, and then people are gonna forget about it.
I think
And
B
he doesn't
team's
want
done.
that. He probably knows that's
B-Team
what's gonna
is done.
happen. So he's like, I'm gonna keeping people on the edge of their seats, thinking, "Oh, this is it. This is the time I'm gonna win," and then lose again. And then it keeps people interested because every time he wrestles, you're on the edge of your seat. Like he put on a good match with Elias. Like I thought that was gonna be it. And you're like, this is it, man. He's gonna beat him. He's gonna beat him. And then he loses. And then you're like, shit. And then next time you see him, it's the same thing all over again. And you're just steady interested. It's smart, I think. I think if he wins a match, it's gonna be a huge pop, and he's gonna get a good run like the B team. People are gonna eat it up. It's gonna be cool for a little bit, and then it's just gonna be like, oh, who cares? You know what I mean? Like that's just the way the WWE universe is. I think he's staying more relevant this way than if he wins a match. But it's gonna have to happen one day, eventually. They're not gonna let him just keep losing for like the next 10 years. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna end at some point.
Yeah. I understand. I totally understand. I got some more news about this is also something we were just talking about with Drew McIntyre. Ben posted this not long ago, and I seen it recently too. They do want to pull Drew McIntyre out of, the tag team with Dolph Ziggler. So soon, apparently, they want to pull him out and have him do top main card matches and put him up in the top, like you guys were saying. And that's what they're gonna do with him is put him in main card matches.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one. Apparently, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are kind of dickheads to some fans. Or were recently kind of jerks to some fans in a gas station in
That's kind of interesting
Texas.
because they seem like really good guys unless they were really in a bad mood that day.
So the first one's from a tweet, which is at VEESTWTR. My dad saw at WWE Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins at Bucks the other night, and he said they were dickheads. Roman Reigns told my dad he wasn't an animal in a cage and stopped taking pics, which is funny considering
Well,
he
they're
was in a...
allowed to do that.
Well,
They're
Yeah,
fucking
that's
human
true.
beings. They're probably tired of not being able to go out and do normal shit.
Exactly, I
Like
understand
this guy was that story was probably flop. They probably, and I don't even like Roman Reigns, and I'm still defending him. They probably flipped his words, made it, exaggerated it for attention on social media.
Exactly,
I
yeah.
imagine
Like
that
the
was
guy's
okay.
trying to buy gas and some snacks. Like get off his dick, bro. Like
I
the guy was
imagine
probably
that was
like
the
all on
case,
his shit.
there
You
were
know what I mean?
at the
He
same
probably was like, sir, don't take pictures. Like, get the fuck out of my way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people exaggerate. Like, these guys are human beings. They probably get tired of the cameras and
Exactly,
rushing
that's what
them and
every
stuff,
star.
Well,
That's what
they're
every
They
star.
okay.
have events and stuff to sign
hold on,
autographs.
hold
They,
on.
chill.
There's still okay. I have a very thought out opinion on this, or at least I think. And there's two different sides to this. There's the, it could have he said she said part, and just people trying to grab attention. But there's also a picture of Seth Rollins like holding his hand out, and like they said Seth Rollins wouldn't take a picture with like these two kids, who had, or one looks like he's like 9, and the other one looks like maybe 7 or something like that.
Yeah, but the biggest mistake you could ever make is believing a picture. Pictures.
I also agree with
put
that.
any line on a picture.
At the same point, my argument to the whole, they're just tired, they just were trying to get a snack or something. There's a thing that a lot of people agree with, a lot of people don't. But I think when you sign on to be a celebrity on TV, a household name, when you sign up for that, you're signing up for that lifestyle. You know what you're in for. You're going to have to deal with the consequences of living like that. And it also means that when you're in public, you have to maintain...
But it's situational. It's not a black or white thing.
It's some
it is
ways...
very situational, because there's a difference between if this man approached him, or the kids approached
I realize if they were like
hey,
assaulted
me,
him.
Sir, hey, Seth, do you mind taking a picture with us? And he was just like, no, get the fuck away from me. Okay, then he's a jerk. But if they're just like all like crowding him and snapping pictures and acting crazy, then he has a right to freak out. Like, it depends on how they addressed it. That's why I say it's situational. It's not. They didn't sign up to have to be 100% like super polite to everybody all the time and allow themselves to be treated in any kind of way that people feel like treating them. Like, that's not okay.
Well,
like, it depends on how these fans approach them.
You kind of have to ignore the people just taking pictures of you. That's something that's a freedom that you gave up a long time ago when you decided to be... I'm not talking about somebody running up and taking a selfie or can I have an autograph or something like that. I'm saying some guy holding the camera up, taking a picture of you. You lost that right, man. You're famous. Everybody's trying to get their little bit too. Everybody wants to say, look, I saw Roman Reigns at the grocery store. Here's video proof. I recorded him. Look, he was a dickhead to me. I'm not an animal in a cage, And also, from the exact same post, there was pictures of, in the same store, Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss, and it's a completely different story of them two, and it says they were very nice to them, and they let us take pictures, and Braun Strowman was in character, and Alexa Bliss said, turned down a selfie, but, was very polite about it. It was like, I've just had a really long night, I would prefer not to, or something like that. And they were fine with that. And this is from the same account. So that's why I give it a little more weight. Like, I think, Roman Reigns might have been like, stop filming me, I'm not an animal in a cage. Because, I feel like tired and, pissed off, maybe hungry, angry Roman Reigns might be that way. He does kind of seem a little bit like a dick. Seth Rollins, I don't know about.
Yeah, what I'm saying is we could stay up all night and debate this. It's situational. It depends. There's a lot of factors. It's not either he was a dick or he wasn't. There's a lot of different factors.
I agree. You definitely can't when it's hearsay.
And one thing that I don't do is ever look at a picture and a headline and go, "Oh, okay, this happened."
Yeah, I agree with
pictures
that.
The media is so full of shit, and people make shit up all the time, and it's deceitful. I never do that ever. I don't believe pictures. It's not proof to me.
Yeah, you're correct.
I got a few other news if
Go ahead.
you guys want to hear them. Alright, so this is a big headline here.
Alright, bro. Take care.
Alright, this is a big headline.
Peace out.
Hulk Hogan opens up about addiction to Honey Nut Cheerios. This is true.
Wow, I'm so glad that I'm still here.
Yo, Hulk Hogan.
You was gonna let me miss that?
Yeah, dude. Hulk Hogan.
That's important.
He brought out his feelings on Twitter. He made a video saying how he's addicted to Honey Nut Cheerios. Come on, it's true. He's really addicted. And
Now,
put tweet out and everything.
I can sit here and extol the virtues of Honey Nut Cheerios for hours. Honey Nut Cheerios are pretty amazing. They're like a
old
jack of
people
all
food.
trades.
That's why it's
No,
amazing for
no.
you.
They're a jack of all trade cereals. They're sweet enough for the kids, but they're plain enough for the old folks. Everybody can be happy with Honey Nut Cheerios.
That's very true, actually.
I got more
They're-
news
they're-
here.
Now I'm definitely leaving. Have a good one, guys.
Wait, this is for you though. Before you leave, it's really quick.
This is more important than Cheerios.
This is more important because it's on your topic here. Bobby Lashley is pissed off he hasn't faced Brock Lesnar yet in WWE.
Well, he should be.
Yeah, he's pissed off.
They literally robbed him and gave it to Roman. He literally beat Roman. And
Apparently, he never
lost to
met
Roman.
him, Brock Lesnar. He crossed paths with Brock Lesnar, but he never had a discussion or met him or talked with Brock Lesnar, and he wants a match with him before he, leaves WWE for UFC or something. So yeah, he's pretty upset about that. Yeah, about not having a match with him. And I agree too. I agree. I would want to see him
Maybe
in a
they
match
just felt
between
like
these
he
two.
needed. Maybe he felt like it's been 10 years. He needs some time to develop with this new generation of fans before they just throw him in there against Brock. There's got to be reasons, why they pulled back on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was a big enough pop because not enough people were into it at the time. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to look, if you look at it this
again.
perspective, like you're saying about this generation, if you look at it this perspective and generation, you don't really know much history about Bobby Lashley because Bobby Lashley is he's an old timer in wrestling basically.
10
He
years ago,
wrestled-
we were
Yeah.
16. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? These kids
Yeah,
are now
and back then Bobby
getting
Lashley
that
versus
age.
Brock. Back then Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar would have been amazing. That would have been a dream match to see back then. But in this generation, I can
Yeah.
understand why it's not a big thing, and why they're not pulling the trigger on this. I can understand that. But
Yeah, that's why I was so hyper and into it when
exactly
he
same
came
thing.
back because it's
Same
something that I
thing.
would have loved to see 10
Exactly
years
same
ago.
thing. That was one of the big reasons why I was hyped for his return, and then it was just a fail return. That's the
So,
thing we gotta
Leo
look at
Rush
it.
is gonna save the day.
Yep, Leo Rush is here
I
to
want-
save the day,
You know
guys.
what I want? You know what I want to see at WrestleMania?
What?
Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush versus Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman in a tag team match. We get mixed tag team matches all the
Special
time.
guest
Like, this-
referee. Special guest referee Mick Foley. Oh man, that'd be interesting.
No, well, I want to see Mick Foley versus Paul Heyman in a Hell in a Cell match.
Mick Foley versus Paul Heyman. Oh
Yeah.
God, both of these
Because
guys look like they can't wrestle at all. They can't. They look like they can't wrestle at all. Imagine watching them two
That would be the
wrestle.
funniest match.
They'll probably be bitch slapping each other. Both of them will probably be limping and shit. Oh God, that'd be crazy.
It'd be more entertaining than Roman and Braun.
That'd be interesting, yeah. I get you. Is Sheep still
tries
here?
So yeah,
Tries to spray his neck with the mace and he just pulls out the sock.
I think for a second, we should, if Saul wants to go, that's fine. We should cover the 2K19 little bit of news that we have, because it does look
Yeah, I'm gonna
pretty
go. I'm
interesting.
pushing
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just
Um,
talk about one more topic. Shawn Michaels is gonna be back for in-ring performance. He's gonna be in the ring. It's something that we really don't want to see, but Shawn Michaels has a match at Crown Jewel. Well,
Boo.
he has something going on. I know we have DX reunion happening, so we're gonna see some kind of match with DX. Even though with those reunions with DX, it's usually nothing really big. It's only a one-time thing, you know what I'm saying? So, but do we really want to see that? As much as everybody loves DX, and we all love DX because DX was a big thing in the Attitude Era. It was a big impact, but can we really, do we really want to see that just for nostalgia? I mean, DX is done. It's old. It's over. It's like the whole thing about the NWO coming back and reuniting. There's a thing going around with them supposedly reuniting in WWE, NWO. Do we really want to see that for just nostalgia? I mean, these dudes are old. They don't look like they could even fucking do anything. We seen it basically already at the 25th anniversary, and it didn't look that freaking great. They're old as fuck, man. They can't keep up after one move. They basically just collapse and die after one move. Crazy. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sheep? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. But yeah, we can move on to the 2K19 stuff.
So what little bit I've seen, there looks to be some pretty interesting stuff. It looks like they basically took like a highlight reel of some of like the crazier things that have happened over the past year or two, and like just they're gonna throw your created wrestler in there with voice acting, which is probably the biggest thing. There's a lot of voice acting. I hope it's all voice acted, but apparently your character has a voice and can speak. I hope you can choose from multiple ones. I hope there's not one default one. There's like more than one. But the trailer that I heard, the voice actor was pretty good. The storyline seemed interesting and really, really over the top, but still probably really fun. I mean, it's like really like kooky. Like, you know, there's, you know, Bray Wyatt, and there's like magic stuff. And yeah, your character finally speaks.
Yeah, I saw that. It looked pretty interesting.
The other
I
wrestlers
like it.
speak to you. You're gonna get in the Bray Wyatt House of Horrors match. You know, so he's gonna like do his own promos talking to you. And I saw one point like you're talking to Braun Strowman, and you're like, "I'm actually your opponent," and he's like, "You mean victim?" or something like that.
Yeah.
And he like he's like doing curls with like the stage prop thing, and I was like, that's so awesome, because that's like, it's so Braun Strowman. Like, he would be lifting weights with like a big piece of the stage. Yeah, it's got
It looks really good.
the Matt Hardy's like, welcome to the
The compound.
no, it was like into the plains or something. Some kind of mystical realm or something, like, and you're there's gonna be like a big thing on that, like some kind of surreal otherworld kind of thing, like a match in like these weird fantasy places. It showed the zombie Triple H. It looked like it's gonna be amazing. I think that's my career. I'm really looking forward to for once.
My career mode looks like a lot.
I'm gonna be like torn between like that and trying to set up a universe mode. I'm gonna like probably like
I wish
every
they would
other
do something like that
alternate.
with universe mode, where they had some kind of cut scenes or something with wrestlers.
Well, they used to in one of the ways, but that's a lot of work to you have to do a lot of pre-planning and pre-work, and I kind of like how you can just go in there and quickly set up a show and get going, and you don't have to like do a whole lot of work just to get one show ready.
Yeah.
So I hope that you can do a little bit of stuff like that, a little bit more you can do in the universe mode, but I don't want it to be where I have to spend an hour to get one show ready. You know, it takes me like 10 minutes to get a show ready. I just have to go look at who's supposed to have a match when, and what the last show was and stuff like that. I also start vacation on the release day, so hopefully it's supposed
You'll be streaming it before me.
Well, I don't know, because like we got it from the same place, and it says we're supposed to have it on the 5th. Is it going to come?
No, I mean, you'll be streaming it before me time-wise, because I still have work Friday.
Well, still,
so I'll be streaming
I have
at the
a
normal
question
time.
that you're not letting me finish. It's coming in ours are physical copies. They're coming in the mail.
Yeah.
So, like, what if it's delayed or late?
Oh, yeah, that's impact. But I never had issues with delays.
Have you ordered one?
Games.
Did it get there that day or the day before or what?
I pre-order all my games, physical copies from GameStop or Amazon, and I always get it on the same day. But yeah, I understand about delays. It can happen. Delays can happen, but usually, if you pre-order games or something, big that costs over $100, like some kind of edition. I know from Amazon and GameStop that does it. They insure in the package to make sure we receive it on the day that it comes out. So it'll either go by plane and then by ground once it's in our location, or if it's not that way, then I understand how
I've
it would be
never
delayed.
pre-ordered a physical one. I always pre-ordered digital so that I could get it at midnight, like Soul's mentioning. And also, yes, big
Yeah.
news: Roman did get lowered to a 92 overall, and
Yeah, I was
Brock
gonna talk
Lesnar
about
to
the
a
overalls.
93. Those are the main discrepancies. I'm glad that they
Well,
got
you forgot Ronda
nerfed.
Rousey's at 87.
Is she that? She's not the highest woman then, is she? Is
I
Charlotte?
think there's a 88 for Charlotte. I think Charlotte's an 88. I think
I think
I can
Oscar got
look for you.
nerfed.
There's a lot of people that the overalls ain't that great. No, Charlotte Flair's actually 85. I think Ronda may be the highest one, cause Alexa Bliss is 85 as well. A lot of those big characters like Alexa Bliss and Charlotte are around 85, 86.
Well, the
So
women
yeah,
characters never hit the 90s. I think that's
yeah,
going to be like a big milestone. The first woman character with a 90 overall. It's going to be like a big deal.
yeah. I mean, Brock Lesnar's 83, Roman Reigns 82. I kind of predicted it. I was saying they both would be 93, and I understand they go with 92 for Roman Reigns. And I kind of almost predicted Ronda Rousey's as well. I was saying realistically speaking at 88, but she's at 87. I was thinking they would put her as the first 90, but then there's no use. Like, what's the point? She'll be like the most OP character for what? A few divas, women's wrestlers that they have that's only like capped at 85. Oh, that's whatever. But we are going to get like 5 Daniel Bryans in the game. So we have 5 Daniel Bryans to play with. I mean, the whole,
I don't care about
showcase
how
mode
many
is...
different versions of one character we get.
I mean, here's the thing I care about. I hate when they categorize a character in its separate slot, other than what they should have done when they did
One
in 2K19
character
when
with
some
5 different
character
attires.
was, yeah, different supposed attires.
All the same overall. No difference in the overalls. Just go with that. I don't want 5 different character slots taking up 5 different spaces and must have to scroll through search for wrestlers.
I mean, they could have.
I don't want to have to scroll
just...
through 5 different AJ or 5 different Daniel Bryans just to get somebody else whose name starts with a D who didn't pop in my
those
head
slots
immediately.
could have been
Drew
used for
McIntyre.
somebody else.
I'm trying to get to Drew McIntyre and I gotta go through 30 fucking Daniel Bryans to get to him.
Yeah, and one of those Daniel Bryan slots could be a Tommaso Ciampa slot in a Nikki Cross slot.
I'm not really worried about Tommaso Ciampa, but I am kind of biffed about the Nikki Cross. But
Yeah,
it's fine.
We're getting regular Daniel Bryan, which is today. We're getting Daniel Bryan 2010, 2012, 13, and 14.
Yeah, I could
So,
care
yeah,
less.
5.
So yeah, we got the AJ Styles mode, which I'm somewhat interested in. I guess everybody's going to be trying to do that so they can try to win $1 million and play AJ Styles. But how are you going to legitimately do that in the land that's notoriously known for move spammers and glitch spammers and hackers? How are you going to keep it fair? I don't see that being possible.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's going to end up being some guy who just keeps doing scoop slams the whole match because there's something in the code that you can't block a scoop slam, or they just keep doing this unblockable finisher.
It's going to be interesting.
There's going to be some guy who does
be
submissions from the very beginning of the match, and that's all he does is submission moves, and you don't have high submission defense, and it's over right there.
Is there somebody's overall that you want to know? Because I have the list of overalls here. I didn't really look at it all. I just looked at the
Not
people
really. Who's?
I
I
really
would
wanted to
rather know
know.
like who's went up and down the most. Like whose was like,
Um,
lost like 6 points, and who gained like 8 points, and who had the biggest jumps. I
yeah.
think that would be the most interesting information to me, but I don't think we have that.
They have Raymond Mysterio at 86. What do you feel about that?
He should have been at least 89, 88, 90.
This is the Rey Mysterio we get for pre-order too.
Yeah, we have to
This is the Rey
spend money
Mysterio
on
everybody's looking
this.
forward
That's
to.
spending
Yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
money. He's not even going to be able to compete with 88s, and there's like some pretty bleh 88s on there. They're like in the Legends categories. There's like some 88s that aren't all that great, or weren't, you wouldn't consider to be an 88.
Yeah. We got
So
two Kevin Owens this year.
what?
2018 Kevin Owens and another Kevin Owens, which is weird because we got a 2018 Kevin Owens and then a regular Kevin Owens, and they're both 88, which is stupid. I don't get it.
So Kevin Owens is higher than Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, Kevin Owens was an 88 in 2K18. He
So no
hasn't
change.
changed. Oh, Bo
Which I,
Dallas is a 77.
what? He should be at least a 94.
There's two Batistas at 87 and 89. Becky Lynch is at 83.
Ew.
God, a lot of people are gonna be pissed off about that.
I wish there were some details about the universe mode or the other game modes. There's just that one trailer with it being like, it's literally like 12 days away.
What was Kurt Hawkins in 2K 18? Because he's at 84. He's at 64 in this one. Is it the same thing?
What's that? Sorry.
Kurt Hawkins. What is he in this game? 2K18.
Like a 71 or something like that.
Well, did you edit yours?
I think I put mine up to like a 89 or something like that.
He's a 64 on 2K 19. Oh, he was a 72. Yeah, 72 in 2K 18. And he's a 64 in 2K 19. Damn. He took the drop.
So it seems
hear me?
like what they're doing, they basically did they made a WWE version of NBA's 2K My Career mode.
Oh, I see.
So it's
Oh,
going
it
to
is
be a
on
lot
2K.
like NBA 2K's career mode, my career. So I think it's going to be really. Oh yeah, and there's a fiction. You start in the Indies on a fictional brand called BCW, and the fictional indie
Oh yeah,
brand
yeah, the
invades
fictional brand.
invades NXT
Yeah,
or something like that.
yeah,
Or
it invades. That's the cool part. I thought about it. When I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's the cool part right there. You have a fictional brand that invades WWE. That's dope. And you know what's interesting? Your character, his voice sounds familiar. He sounds like somebody I heard in the WWE, doesn't it? I
yeah.
don't know if it rang a bell to you, but it sounds really familiar. His voice. I was like, who is that? Is that a wrestler? It's like it sounds really familiar. Yeah, I got nothing else. Unless you got something else about the
No,
game.
nothing else. I'm just kind of reading up on it. There's no new news out for it besides like entrances and stuff, and that's not really a big deal or
Well, the
anything.
game's been leaked. Not leaked, but it's been put out there. There's people, major YouTubers who has the game already and has been playing it, which is kind of dumb. I hate when they do that. They give the game to these like major YouTubers and major people, and then they go over there and basically they're playing it and they're putting up all this content. But there's to an extent where they're allowed to share something. Um, they're allowed to, I guess, share the whole on-screen menu and everything and all the matches and entrances, but I haven't really seen video of people actually playing other than some of Showcase and some of my career. I've seen a few gameplay of it, but it gives a lot away, and it's a tease,
Yeah.
you know. What do you feel about the main menu, like how it looks, the whole UI interface?
The,
You seen the videos, right?
the first little bit I saw, it seems interesting. It might take some getting used to, but I like the white. It seems it's new, it's fresh. I think.
It looks clean.
Yeah.
It looks slick and clean.
It might get old quick, but they usually do. So.
Yeah.
The menus and stuff weren't too bad in this one. The
Yeah, they were good. I like the whole like kind of like 3D-ish effect that
yeah,
they have in
and
the main
I like
menu.
how almost every time like on the background on 2K18 like it has like two wrestlers doing something. For some
Yeah,
reason, it always seemed like it had something to do with people who were on TV.
yeah,
Like, every time I looked at it, it's like WWE was like, let's put Samoa Joe and AJ Styles up there.
yeah.
It's like it's always seemed like relevant.
I had like a couple of relevant things happen in the game in a match that like basically would happen in the actual wrestling. It was pretty interesting. I had a match that I was doing on the computer with Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss, and the match got interrupted by Alicia Fox. Not Alicia Fox, right? Is her name Alicia Fox?
Facts.
Yeah, yeah, and she came out and attacked Ronda Rousey. I'm like, wow, 2K is actually doing something here. They're keeping up with something. They're keeping up with the storylines.
So yeah, I'm out of stuff. You got anything else?
I ain't got anything.
Okay, it seems like a
I
pretty
mean,
good place to
I
go
got
ahead.
one thing.
What you got?
If you, for those people that are CM Punk fans, CM Punk finished his movie,
Get your
one of
markers
his
out.
movies.
Get out your markers, guys.
Get all your markers, mark it down. CM Punk finished one of his movies. It's called like Girl on the Third Floor or some bullshit like that. He plays a main role, a main character in that movie. It's supposed to be like a horror, thriller movie. But yeah, he completed his first movie out of supposed few movies he's working on, and they're saying that this movie could possibly lead him to other big roles in movies. But honestly, I never heard of the movie, and I don't really know much about it.
He's gonna get an Oscar.
No, I think they're just basically talking about how he would be in other movies, other major movies or something, major roles, main lead characters. But this movie comes out next year.
See, said the blind man.
It's about a man that has a new home and he's doing renovations to his home, and this home that he bought, he's doing renovations to, unleashes a unexpected fucking, how we want to call it, phenomenal, not phenomenal, that ghost word, that horror movies these days have to be about paranormal activities. You notice that?
Well,
All horror movies.
anything that's not actual normal is paranormal.
Yeah, true. But it's always have to be something about
All
fucking
horror
ghosts
movies are
and
technically
spirits.
paranormal. Well, no, I guess, because paranormal, I guess, is spirits and ghosts. Because
Yeah.
you got like supernatural. which is, more broad.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Alright, well, it seems like a decent enough place to end. And luckily enough, I was texting my overnight boss. I don't have to go back in because I begged and begged to not have to go back in. So, I feel better
All
about
right.
that already. I'll probably go ahead and stream Spider-Man after that. So you guys can go straight from here to
Spooderman.
that, to Spooderman. I'll have to change
On
viewers.
Sheepshifter 23
That's
channel.
right. That's right.
Make
Not
sure you
on that
check that
wrestling
out.
podcast channel. 'Cause I won't do like Street and Soul do and stream on that wrestling podcast and Fortnite or something.
Fortnite.
All right, guys. Check us out next week. Dat Wrasslin podcast, same time as usual. Dat Wrasslin podcast out.